It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. But tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Running left is Tracy. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now he's free at the 35. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 15. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5.
Come on, come on.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Going to be hemmed in and blocked down right at the line of scrimmage. Here is 3rd down and 4.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Now they'll audible to something else.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Pioneer. Warrior 70. Go.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Sanders' kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Well, they moved the ball well there on the opening series. Running game was in sync. They were knocking on the doorstep, but ultimately, Charles, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
Well, they certainly were moving it well, and give this defense a ton of credit. Finally dug their heels in and forced the field goal. That's what it is, game partner. Will this offense look back at this drive and think to themselves, if we'd gotten 6, we'd be in a better spot.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Looking to put a drive together.
Crack on 80. Let's go. Ready.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Called on a very strong gain of 24.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
First and 10 at
Left
the 41-yard
19.
line.
They're going to look to throw. Open man. He's got his tight end, Elijah Arroyo. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's able to break out a one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2nd and 5 from the 8.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line.
Ready up. Down.
He'll drop to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Panther 11. Rig alert, rig alert. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. 19 tight, 19 tight. Check out.
They'll try and throw for it. And he'll get into the end zone to make it a 5-point game. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Ready. Ready.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. How about this? And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks' 23-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Second and 3.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
And a first down. First and goal, Tampa Bay.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there. Keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Bucs have regained the lead. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Jason Sanders is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Second down and a yard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
A gain of 3 yards. That's good for a Seahawks. First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
The tackle by Chris Braswell. 2 yards on the pickup. It's
And now they'll shift things
at
around.
their 49-yard line.
Here's second and 8. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
19 lock, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Ready?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards there for number 15.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's first and 10 at the 36. Over the middle, he finds a Warrior. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Complete to Elijah Arroyo. 10 yards on the pickup.
They'll look to throw again. Throw out wide to Walker. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A 5-yard gain on the play.
Back to throw again. And he's got a man. Downfield is Horton. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Hey, Crash! 70 Lions!
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
Brings up second
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Big play coming here. It's third and goal.
brings up third and goal.
And he will take this one in for a Seattle touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have moved out in front.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Here we
The
go!
Seahawks will
They'll look to throw. A rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And able to get this out to the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
5 yards, now it's third and 5.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here is third and 5.
Trap 6, 7 Pirates, Warriors, 70. Ready.
He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Ready, breaks.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they contend with a second and 12 after the loss.
The tackle made back at his 48-yard line.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Dragon 60.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, come on. Hey, Cowboy 80.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
79, bro. Let's go now.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 17-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ibuka. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Here we go, here we go. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. 79. Cougar 19, Cup 19, Cup Buffalo 18. Go.
Now back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Go. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Ready.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Seven Pirates, Seven Pirates.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Third and 3.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2.
The Seahawks will line up for the 2-point conversion.
18, Mustang 19. Let's go.
And he will get into the end zone, and it's now a 2-score game as the lead moves to 9. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side, so now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, the next drive, that can make this a free-possession game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Looking to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
18 Cardinal.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Let's go now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's down the field. He's got Arroyo. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Elijah Arroyo, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Here we
The
go.
Seahawks will line up for the 2-point conversion.
And it's not going to make it to the goal line. They've been perfect on the night in 2-point conversions, but not here, as this time they come up empty. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go. 60 Eagles, 60 Warriors, 17. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates, 19 tight, 19 tight. 18, Pioneer.
They'll set up to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And just shutting him off there. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
24-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Buccaneers.
Ready? Stop. Panther 60, Panther 60. 60 Bobcats, trap 60, trap 60. Mustang 19. Ready?
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They'll be caught by Rice. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashee Rice, 43 yards. And the Buccaneers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2.
Dragon 6.
The Bucs will set up
79
for a
Bronx.
two-point
Let's go,
conversion.
80. Hey, Crash. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit.
21. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
It's a 10-yard loss. Brings up 2nd and 20 at the 25-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. Right side, he finds his receiver, Horton. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Ready, ready.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first.
A 7-yard gain. And the Seahawks.
Now they'll change things up.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
48-yard line.
Trap 50, trap go.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
On the tackle. A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
He'll look to throw. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready,
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On the RPO, that's complete right side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
18 Cardinals.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
19 tight. 19 tight.
2nd and 6. Throwing left side here, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
They'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The offense on third down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. Down to the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it, too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So big play there. It's going to set him up for 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
It's a gain of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
On the jump.
Here we go. The noise deafening. 4th and goal.
Bronco 80. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Touch. 19 tight. 19 tight.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Come on.
A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got a man. Downfield is Horton. He's to the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Torrey Horton, 79 yards. And the Seahawks have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
And the Buccaneer first down.
Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
He gets it left side of Johnson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bob, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready.
Back to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On the jump.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
19-18.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That one looks like he'll throw here. Kalijah Kancey. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's 2nd and 21.
19 Lions. Go.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Inside the 20. And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Torrey Horton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And this one over the back line of the end zone, where they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at a...
Taking it right down Broadway. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles. So the final seconds of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
First and 10 at the 30.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Trap 60, trap 60. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Here we go, start. 70 Lions. Cowboy 80. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. 18 Pioneer.
He'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Horton. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Seahawks, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.